My wife hid the fact that she got sterilized. We've been married for 13 years and the whole time we discussed having kids. Even prior to that, we came up with names for our kids and she even showed any signs of not being able to have them. She even spoke about how she can't wait to get pregnant and know how it feels like to carry a baby. About 5 years ago we finally reached a financial steadiness. Had a house fully paid for, 2 cars, both had amazing jobs. Now we were ready to support a baby and she still said nothing. I wouldn't say we were trying for a baby, but we went off all contraceptives. Things started getting fishy when we hit 3 years. No protection yet, no kids, and I started panicking, but she kept reassuring me that the time will come when it's right. Last year I finally sat down with her and asked her if we could both just get a checkup. Just to make sure. At first she agreed, but then she started putting off every time the appointment came. After months of doing this, she told me that she was scared the problem was with her and she didn't want to feel less than a woman. That even if the problem was with me, we could make better use of the money we'd be wasting on fertility treatments that may or may not work. Sounded reasonable enough, so I left it. Eventually we were set on just adopting. Almost done with that process. Today I went to get a few things on town and ran into her sister at the grocery store. We did some light small talk, then moved on to the adoption topic. I gave her the updates and she started smiling. When I asked why, she said she was honestly surprised that I didn't leave my wife after hearing she got sterilized and that I was a good man. Didn't take long for her to realize I actually didn't know about it, and she quickly excused herself. When I got home I questioned my wife on this, and she broke into tears and told me the story of how, before she met me, she was dating some rude guy who didn't want to use any protection during making love, so he forced her to go to the doctor and get it done. I'm just really confused right now, and I don't know how to handle this. I don't want to think she's lying about this, but she has lied about something big before, so I don't know. Update, though I've recently opted for a more stable job, my previous one required me to do a lot of traveling for extended periods, so it is plausible that she could have done it during one of these, but honestly I can't pinpoint a time when she seemed to be recovering or something. She doesn't have a scar on next her belly button, but I'm not entirely sure about others. After speaking to her again about it, she says she got an ESHA, and if I want it she can provide proof, but she won't forget this. Which annoys me, but that's fine. I've tried contacting her sister again, but I'm almost certain she's ghosting, which also makes me think she's spoken to her. I don't know for certain what I'm going to do, but I'm really leaning onto the divorce option at this point. Right now we are trying a bit of separation. Reddit comments. Something isn't right here. Her story is extremely suspicious to the point it is beyond belief. If you married her 13 years ago, when you were both 20, that means she's claiming a doctor agreed to sterilize a reluctant, unmarried, childless woman under 20 years old. Unless she was diagnosed with a medical condition that made pregnancy dangerous, that's not a thing any doctor would agree to do. They would leave themselves hugely wide open to being sued into oblivion. I was surgically sterilized as a childless 33-year-old after searching off and on for over a decade for a doctor who would agree to do it. I have a medical condition that would make pregnancy a significant danger to my life, but was told by many doctors that because I could potentially survive a pregnancy with extensive medical intervention throughout, and some women with my condition choose to take that risk, they weren't willing to risk me changing my mind. The doctor that finally agreed to sterilize me told me over and over again that if I was healthy he wouldn't have agreed to do it. I had to go to 3 counseling sessions with him first and sign multiple statements about my desire for the procedure, its irreversibility, and my awareness of the large percentage of women who regret having it done. If she was sterilized, I can all but guarantee it was done during the marriage, and probably she lied to the doctor to have it done. It sounds like she went and got sterilized while they've been married, not that she was in an abusive relationship previously and had it done then. Besides, don't people discuss their previous partners with their spouses? Wouldn't he have heard about an abusive ex? Wouldn't she have some other things going on? Either way, I don't think there's much damage control that can be done. Just have to try and get to the truth and then decide if you want to maybe adopt on your own as a single dad. I think that this is calculated and deliberate deception on your wife's part that she carried out over the years. She lied to you about trying for a child when she knew that she was sterilized. I would also suggest that you take the time and talk to the sister as well as wife separately. It is likely that your wife got sterilized when you were married and not before. I think she got sterilized when you guys went off all contraceptives. Ask your wife to show you the medical records to confirm the dates of this sterilization. Even if she was sterilized before you guys got together, highly unlikely she still lied about it to you for years. Also, put the adoption process on hold for a couple of reasons. I'm not sure where your marriage stands considering the magnitude of this deception. It looks like you really want to have a child and she does not. This is a serious difference in wants. I see a lot of couples separate because one partner wants a child while the other does not. On top of that, your wife purposefully hid her sterilization from you. How would you trust her at this point? Would you really want to raise a child with her? Edit. I saw your update. You mentioned that your wife says that she won't forget that you asked for proof. I truly hope that she remembers this so that years down the road she'd remember the cause and what she did to your marriage. But based on the context and the way she said it, I'm reading the subtext here. Most likely she is going to remember it and somehow rationalize it that it was all your fault and will make you out to be the bad guy for all the trouble that befalls on her. So, I'm sterilized and it comes with scars. My procedure happened last year, and because they can do it with fiber optic cables now, they are two small ones, one in my belly button and one diagonally down from it to the left. But if she got it done long ago, it should be a somewhat bigger, more visible one around where the fallopian tubes are. So, if she doesn't have any of these, I don't know what to tell you, really. Edit. Op has since updated his comment and his wife says it was the Escher method, which doesn't leave scarring. However, it's a newer, and now also discontinued, method, so it doesn't quite add up with Op's wife's supposed timeline for the procedure. Well, women in their 30s who wants to be sterilized, for very serious reasons, have all the pain in the world finding a doctor who will do it. There are pages and pages on the internet of forum and discussions about that. Even when you have a good medical reason, already some kids with you stable partner, and that doctors in your country don't have the right to say no. It's a struggle to find someone who will do it, and believe me, it always takes time. I don't know where you live and have no experience of your country, but that story sounds very off to me. There still may be some valid reason why she did it, but while lying in for so long, is she saying okay to the adoption to please you? You need to have some serious discussions with her. I feel like the problems that come into play here are too deep and above what Reddit can really do for you. Maybe a third party like a therapist could help for you to get the truth sorted out. What do you mean you don't want to think she's lying about this? That was factually established, and she admitted she's been lying to you about it over and over again for years now. You say she's also lied about other big things during your marriage? What do you want out of life, and is she providing extremely well in all the other areas of partnership? I don't think I could live with all the huge lies you detailed, but that's easier to say from the outside. I'd suggest taking time and space to process what you've learned, and not try to rush into any final decisions. Separate for a week or two, and see if you can find a therapist for some emergency sessions. It would be great if you had a safe space and sounding board to work through your new reality and surrounding emotions. Try to become stable emotionally and then address how to start repairing trust if you want to try to stay with her. What big thing did she lie about before? Op. She once went to work every day for 3 months just to find out that she was let off during budget cuts and she was just going to her friend's house. Okay, seriously, these are huge red flags. Does she tell you why she lies? I think it's a case of telling a white lie for the time being, but then it manifests. She never wants to talk about it afterwards. Lol, being sterilized and losing your job aren't white lies. I'm sorry, but that's not okay. She's gaslighting you. If she truly felt remorse, she'd be willing to talk to you about it. My guess is it's easier for her to continue not dealing with anything in her life, so she shuts you down, which just makes things worse on numerous levels. Edit. So she's stonewalling you, although the gaslight aspect might be kicking in right about now. And who knows, maybe she does gaslight. Comment and subscribe.